Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Baldur's Gate 3 with me, Bring It On. Let's talk with Halsin.
You're here. Good. Now we can begin.
It would be smart to inquire what to expect. But I like Halsin, so ride or die. Let's do it.
Very well. Once I begin the ritual, a portal to the Shadowfell will open, one that will help me save Thaniel. Whatever happens, I must go alone.
What am I to do?
With the Oakfather's blessing, I can infiltrate the Shadowfell, but doing so will sap my strength. I'll need your help if I'm to return. I need you to stay here, keep the portal open until I return, and defend it at all costs.
Well, I'm guessing the Shadows aren't going to be happy that he's trying to lift the curse. You can count on me.
Good. Now it's important that only I pass through the portal once it opens. The magic is fragile. Any mistake, and our one chance will be lost forever. It took me years of study, of seeking the Oakfather's favor, to find a way to part the veil. Pray that this works. Oakfather, hear me. Aid me. Force open the jaws of darkness. Make passage for your vessel of light. It's ready. I'll return with Thaniel as soon as possible. Stay close to the portal. Buy me what time you can.
So that's fine if they want to focus shovel.
The lance board is set. Onward.
I'll give Gale the high ground after hasting my paladin. Yeah, they are undead, so let's use Divine Sense. Give us advantage on attack rolls against the undead. Oh, they can attack the portal. As the daylight here to counter the shadows. Alright, Shovel, time to earn your keep. Take out one of the ravens for me. I would like to cast Mirror Image on Gale. Reduce the chance of him losing concentration on haste. But Fireball also seems quite good. Alright, Paladin. Can't quite hit as many as I would like. Do this then. I think I can hit 3 here. Nope. Only 2. That's still fine. Alright, so I have to get over there immediately. I don't know if Shadowheart can heal this.
Talk to me.
Oh, we have Sunbeam. We could probably position a little better. And try this. Nope, cannot target that. Alright, Gale, we need more fireballs.
Warriors. The curse.
What else do we have? We have Ice Storm. That'll hit all of them. Well, most of them. Not these 2 up here. Or 4 up here. Jeez.
Time to push my luck again.
Alright, good job, Gale. And we'd have Will take care of the Mastiff, I think. Or these guys. Let's do my Paladin here. Okay, so we can choose to do necrotic damage instead. Oh, shoot. I'm gonna cast Daylight again. I didn't see those guys spot in.
Someone is gonna murderize you.
Battle of wits.
Well, keep the good work, Gale.
So much for peace.
I'm gonna send my paladin back to take care of the shadows and wraiths.
Battle favors the fearless.
This is a long rest, but I guess that guy's aura dispelled the daylight spell. Oh man, that's so satisfying. Hey, good job, Shovel. Alright, no AoE spells this time.
Another fight. Let's go.
I should have used some of his spells. An Eldritch Blast and his basic attack are just so good. There's rarely a cause for it.
What's the plan?
It's done. I have him. But something's wrong. Dreadfully wrong. No. It can't be.
We need to get Thaniel someplace safe.
Yes. I'll bring him back to camp. He'll be safest with us. I need to examine him. I need to understand what's wrong. It's almost like something's missing from him. Come see us when you can.
His other half was that... I don't want to call it a ghost, because I don't think he's a ghost. the kid we played hide and seek with. Also, all things considered, that went very smoothly. His shovel took 2 of the strength drains. Got hit once, I think. And Shadowheart got hit once.
Wonder if the gods are watching me.
Really no reason I can't reach that pilgrim, but sure. Her love for it was like a plum. Her love for it was like a plum. It grew so sweet within her tongue, and with a wiggle of her bum, she set right out to see love done. The curse had made the land its lair, a layer over all like willow hair. Though it could strip the body bare, so filled the people with despair. Shadow cursed without a light, yet she would kindle romance bright. And so in moony dark of night, she went to it bereft of fright, and hugged the curse the wicked blight. Her love for it was like a plum, and so sharply pain did come. It chewed her flesh like scrumptious gum. She trickled, she burst, she started to run. That took a dark turn. I believe that is all the loot. Let's check out these shadow vestiges.
You glimpse a young harper on the eve of battle against Thorn long ago. He and his comrades toast each other in last light. You sense a fading echo of the person who once was, a dockhand. He did not ask for this. A faded memory of a boy and girl sharing their first kiss. Your own heart almost flutters in tune with theirs. Desperate prayers to Selûne echoing from the past. They did not save him. You can almost feel the heat from the forge. This one was once a blacksmith. A faded memory of a boy and girl sharing their first kiss. Your own heart almost flutters in tune with theirs.
Let's go check in with Halsin and Thaniel.
Thaniel is resting, but it's no easy slumber. I discovered what's wrong with him. The shadows rendered him in two when they bore him away to the Shadowfell. Half of his essence remained here, amidst the curse. What stayed behind would have been the strongest part of him. But after all these years left in the darkness, corruption must have taken hold.
How do you know this?
I knew something was wrong when he didn't wake up. But now I'm even more certain. By now we should have seen some small glimmer of Thaniel's power. A sign that the land is healing. New growth, flowers in bloom. But there has been nothing.
Can it be undone?
Perhaps. If we can find Thaniel's lost half and make him whole again. Only the missing half may not come willingly. The curse will have sunk its tendrils deep, twisting Thaniel's essence into something else.
I met a sort of shadow child before, a little boy named Oliver, around Thaniel's age.
And you saw this boy yourself? That can't be a coincidence, but we need to be sure. And I truly mean we, if you wish. Every moment counts, and I've asked much of you already without being at your side.
All right, leave it to me.
This doesn't have to be your burden alone. Every moment counts, and I've asked much of you already without being at your side. If you want me, I'm yours. Against the curse, against the absolute. Anything. Just say the word.
Join me.
Seems your ranks are quite packed. If some space frees up, I'll be ready for you.
Fantastic. Finally got another companion. So we'll probably have Will sit out. His Gale's haste is too valuable. Then again, we do have potions of speed. And that doesn't require concentration. And Will's personal quest is tied to this area, to rescuing his father from Catherick Thorm. It's a tough call. I like most of the companions, so it's hard to have one sit out for a while. But I do want Halsin in the A-team. Seems like a cool guy. Plus, we need to level him up. So at the very least, let's have
What's on your mind?
Gale sit it out while we do that.
I question the wisdom of that decision, but so be it. I'll be here in the meantime, idling away the hours.
I wouldn't mind finding him a better robe before he stays in my team. I'm not a huge fan of the way that looks on him.
Thaniel still suffers. There'll be no improvement until his essence is restored, I fear.
Once Thaniel's essence is found, what then?
In truth, I'm not sure. This is beyond all reckoning. It's still part of Thaniel deep down, but it may not recognize that, or want to recognize that. Perhaps it can be reasoned with, but I'm not hopeful. Reason is not something that thrives amidst the shadow curse.
Well, come. I need you by my side out there.
Good. Now our roots can deepen. Together.
Actually, before we level him up, let's look and see what he does at level 1. And then we'll do this. Alright, so 17 Wisdom, 12 Charisma, 8 Intelligence, 14 Constitution, 14 Dexterity, and 10 Strength. He has dark vision, elven weapon training, so he has proficiency with the long sword, short bow, and longbow. Fey ancestry. You have advantage on saving throws against being charmed, and magic can't put you to sleep. Pretty straightforward. Druids can use medium armor, fantastic. We have just the armor for him, I think. Longbows, longswords, scimitars, and short swords. Then all the simple weapons as well. Anything unique? I guess the Grove Tender boots. These boots are well maintained and clean, though their soles are thin from wear. It just has a torch equipped. Halsin's Grove garments. Feeling the fabric, the strangest feeling occurs. Your thumbs brush sun-dappled leaves, skim the water of a creek, tangle in the fur of some panting animal, heat and breath. Halsin's underwear. Why does it smell like a herb garden? Excellent question. We'll also have to equip him. Which means I have to go digging in our camp stash. Alright, so level 2 druid. So, Circle of the Moon is his default subclass, it seems. Let's see what they all do real quick. So Circle of the Land, druids of this circle connect to powerful magic that flows through the earth and binds all living things together. Circle of the Moon, druids sworn to the moon draw on its mercurial nature to transform into massive creatures and primal elementals. That's probably the most fitting. We did find him in Bear Wild Shape. And Circle of the Spores, doing death, necrosis, fungal growth, and sporulation as just another part of life. Manipulate such spores to augment yourself and harm your foes. That doesn't seem to fit with him. Honestly, Circle of the Land is probably the most thematic for him, with as concerned as he is with the land. Because one, he's never mentioned the moon. I don't know how much Circle of the Moon druids talk about the moon. But he does seem far more concerned with the land. He still gets Wild Shape. So he gets Combat Wild Shape. As a bonus action, you can assume the form of a beast. You transform twice per short rest. I'm not sure. I mean, I guess you could argue we should just stick with his default subclass. I really think Circle of the Land is more fitting, but we'll go with Circle of the Moon. Alright. So you get 7 hit points at level 2. Lunar Mend. Expend spell slots or gain hit points while in Wild Shape. Gets access to Wild Shape, of course. Wild Shape Badger. Assume the shape of a giant badger that can burrow into the ground. The badger has starting health of 13 hit points that increase every 2 druid levels. While in animal shape, you can't talk or cast spells. You take on the attributes of your beast form, excluding your intelligence, wisdom, and charisma scores. When your beast form drops to 0 hit points, you revert to your normal form. Wild Shape Spider. Assume the shape of a giant spider that can enweb enemies. The giant spider has a starting health of 20 hit points that increase every 2 druid levels. The rest of it's all the same description. Wild Shape Wolf. Assume the shape of a dire wolf that can incite allies and distract enemies. The dire wolf has a starting health of 18 hit points that increases every 2 druid levels. And Wild Shape Cat. In the shape of a cat that can avoid attention and meow to distract enemies. It has 2 hit points. And Wild Shape Bear. Assume the shape of a polar bear that can goad enemies into attacking it. The polar bear has a starting health of 30 hit points that increases every 2 druid levels. So does that one count as a bonus action as well? Oh, it does. Okay, cool. We already saw Circle of the Moon and spells. We've seen Ice Knife. Entangle, I believe, is new. Create a vine surface, slowing down creatures, possibly entangling them. Affected entity can't move. Attack rolls against it have advantage, while its attack rolls and dexterity saving throws have disadvantage. We've seen Fog Cloud, Speak with Animals, Animal Friendship, Charm Person, Thunder Wave, Healing Word, Cure Wounds, Fairy Fire. We've seen it on a weapon. I don't know if we read the description, though. All targets within the light turn visible, and attack rolls against them have advantage. Enhanced Leap, Long Strider, Goodberry, and Create or Destroy Water. So I believe both of these are ritual spells. We'll grab both of those. Goodberry is convenient. A lot of these spells don't necessarily matter because if he's wild-shaped for most of the fight, he's not going to be casting the offensive spells anyway. So we want to look for more utility. The Charm Person. I guess Animal Friendship for right now. We can always change these on the fly. Level 3. 7 more hit points. Another level 1 spell slot, and 2 level 2 spell slots. The Bark Skin, protect a creature from attacks, increase its armor class up to 16. Seen Dark Vision, enhance ability, Flame Blade. Conjure a flaming scimitar in your hand that deals 3 to 18 fire damage and sheds bright light in a 10-foot radius and dim light in a 20-foot radius. The blade can be unequipped and equipped again, but has to stay on the spellcaster's person. Flaming Sphere. Summon a flaming sphere that damages nearby enemies and objects. You can move the sphere and emits a bright light. Seen Gust of Wind. Heat Metal. Cause a metal weapon or armor to glow red hot and force the wearer to let go or receive disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks. The creature is only wearing metal armor. It always receives disadvantage. If the creature is still touching the metal, you can use a bonus action on subsequent turns to deal another 2 to 16 fire damage and force the creature to let go or receive disadvantage. Hold Person, Lesser Restoration, Moonbeam. Call down a beam of light that damages any creature that enters the beam or starts its turn in the light. You can use an action to move the beam 60 feet. Pass Without Trace, Protection from Poison, and Spike Growth. Shape a piece of ground into hard spikes. Movement is heft. A creature walking on the spikes takes 2 to 8 piercing damage for every 5 feet it moves. Level 4. 7 hit points. Gets a cantrip and wild shape Deep Rothe. Assume the shape of a Deep Rothe that casts dancing lights and charges its enemies. The Deep Rothe has a starting health of 23 hit points that increases every 2 druid levels. And wild shape Dire Raven. Take the shape of a dire raven that can avoid attention and blind enemies. It has 13 hit points. And a new feat. Alright, so Guidance, Poison Spray, Produce Flame, and Resistance. I mean, Guidance is always useful, but we do have it on Shadowheart, and we have an amulet that grants it as well on Astarion. Let's do Produce Flame, since we are currently in a dark area with the Shadow Curse. So, a flame in your hand sheds a light in a 30-foot radius and deals 1d8 fire damage when thrown. Throwing the flame immediately after you conjure it does not cost an action. Extinguishing or throwing it on its subsequent turns costs an action. And a feat. We don't have a good way to boost his wisdom, besides ability improvement. But the second point would be wasted. It's a tough call. I'm not sure what to grab. We get a second feat immediately, because we're going to level him up to level 8. So I could go with ability improvement here. Give a point into wisdom, possibly dexterity or constitution. And then do athlete. Let's do that. So a point into wisdom to 18, a point into dexterity to 15. I think I'd prefer him to have constitution, but since I'm going to go with athlete, which I assume will also carry over into his wild shape form, I don't see why it wouldn't. Level 5, 7 hit points. He gets a level 3, 2 level 3 spell slots. Wild Strike. You can make an additional attack after making an unarmed strike while in wild shape. And new spells. Call Lightning. Lightning strikes all targets within range. Then for 10 turns, you can call down Lightning again without expending a spell slot. Daylight we've seen. Feigned Death we've seen. Plant Growth. Make weeds burst from the ground and smother the area. Creatures moving through the weeds have their movement speed quartered. Protection from energy and Sleet Storm. Call forth a storm that disrupts the concentration of spellcasters, douses fires, and creates an ice surface. Level 6 Druid. 7 hit points. Another level 3 spell slot. Primal Strike. While in beast form, your attacks count as magical for the purpose of overcoming resistance and immunity to non-magical damage. Also gets Wild Shape Panther. Take the shape of a panther that can prowl around invisibly. Your panther shape has a starting health of 45 hit points that increases every 2 druid levels. And Wild Shape Owlbear. Take the shape of an owlbear that can rupture the ground and become enraged. Your owlbear shape has a starting health of 65 hit points that increases every 2 druid levels. Level 7 Druid, 7 more hit points, a level 4 spell slot. We've seen Blight, Confusion, Conjure Minor Elemental, Conjure Woodland Being. Conjure a Dryad to fight alongside you. She can use Nature's Step, entangle enemies, and summon a Woodwode. Dominate Beast, make a beast fight alongside you. Every time the beast takes damage, it makes a wisdom saving throw against your domination. We've seen Freedom of Movement, Grasping Vine, summon a giant vine capable of dragging creatures toward itself. Ice Storm we've seen, Polymorph, Stone Skin, and Wall of Fire. Can prepare some spells here. Actually a good spell to have on hand. My Paladin has that, we don't need Thunder Wave. He's not going to have offensive spells. Well, Call Lightning is probably worth it. Sleet Storm also sounds pretty good. We'll grab that. Maybe Bark Skin. He has a Circle of the Moon Druid, so we'll grab Moonbeam. Maybe we'll do Stone Skin. He can buff himself with that instead of Bark Skin. You only concentrate on one spell, so we don't need Sleet Storm. We'll keep Moonbeam for the thematics, not because it's optimal. Bring a couple of summon spells. I guess Grasping Vine counts as a summon spell. We'll grab that too. Alright, level 8 Druid. 7 more hit points. A level 4 spell slot. Wild Shape Saber-Toothed Tiger. Hit the shape of a saber-toothed tiger that can shred armor and regenerate hit points. Your saber-toothed tiger shape has a starting health of 62 hit points that increases every 2 Druid levels. And a new feat. We're going to go with Athlete. He will be mostly treated as a melee. Character. So he has Call Lightning, but I didn't equip that. It's part of, it's a class feature, I guess. Alright, so we need to go find some equipment for him as well. I have a couple of items in mind. He could use a shield. We have a shield on Will. Alright, we're just going to take all here. Make it a little easier to equip everything. So I'm going to give him the... I believe the Staff of Crones. I don't remember if there was a better quarterstaff that we had for him. Possibly the Spell Sparkler. We could lean into the Lightning Charge build with him. But I don't think I will. Now, he does have higher dexterity. So using a finesse weapon wouldn't be a terrible idea. We could also use Club of Hill Giant Strength and just give him 19 Strength. Which I assume carries over into his wild shape. And then he has decent dexterity. Why can't he equip this? Oh, he's too heavy. Son of a gun. Alright, well, I think that's what we'll end up using. Seems like a good idea. Range, he doesn't really need one because he has... Actually, the Titan String Bow would pair nicely with the... Club of Hill Giant Strength. And I think the... You could do Hoarfrost Boots and have him lean into Ice Magic, but... Ooh. I forgot about these. Let's go with those for now. Well, we can't equip most of these because he's over-encumbered. Is there anything else? Possibly armor. So the Barkskin armor... Again, somebody has that in their inventory, so we can't just equip it. We could also do the Yuan T Scale Mail. Because he has 16 dexterity. We could also give him the Gloves of Dexterity, boosting it to 18. You get an extra armor class out of this. A lot of options. Alright, let's clear out his inventory. And all that to camp. So we could actually equip this guy. So Club of Hill Giant Strength looks a little silly. And then here we can go with Base of Shoes. Gloves. Do we have gloves that gave a spell? I'll just go with those for now, so I have a reason to equip them. And then I have to choose between the Barkskin armor, which will... He has more than that anyway, so why not go with this? He's getting all of the attribute boosting equipment, which is fine. My paladin should have this equipped, but he doesn't need it. He can jump so far. Should also probably swap this out for something else. Maybe Voice of the Circle or something. Not really any great amulets for my paladin. But the crit effect might be nice. Alright, ton of rings. We'll do the movement speed for right now as we look through everything. The bonus to nature and survival would be nice, but not necessary. Blur could be useful if it carries over when you wild shapes. I'm assuming that it does. Already has dark vision, so he doesn't need Sunwalker's gift. Nothing really stands out, so maybe we'll just go with the Shifting Corpus Ring. I mean, look at his stats. They're pretty absurd with all the equipment we gave him. What's the other armor look like? Yes, it goes down to 17. But it looks really cool. And he might even be more powerful than my paladin right now with all the equipment he has. I'm curious how much of this carries over when he wild shapes. Let's test that real quick. So he has 22 armor class, all these stats. Let's go with Cave Bear. So his armor class did go down and his stats did change. So they don't carry over. It doesn't really matter what he has equipped then. So most of the stuff is not going to play a role. It's a little disappointing.
Still breathing, despite everything. Need to find a way forward.
Alright, well, we have a direction to go in next time. We have to go find Oliver again. I guess convince him to come back. I might go ahead and take a long rest at the outset of the next one, because we burned a lot of resources when we were defending the portal. I also need to organize his skill bar in the next one. Wait, can he use the Titan String bow while he's wild-shaped? No, okay. It does specify he can't. But I saw it equipped there. Alright. Well, regardless, I'm going to call it here for now. Thanks for watching. I'm going to see you guys in the next one.